New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring. We invite you to join our prayer broadcast every day at 8:15 a.m. and 8:15 p.m. Mountain Time. Send us your prayer requests or schedule a private prayer session by emailing prayer@ntmedia.org. And now, it's time to pray together.
Hello, folks. Welcome to morning prayer for Monday, July 21st, 2025. My name is Muro. I'm a prayer practitioner here on the New Thought Media Network. And once again, it is indeed a delight and an honor to be able to spend time with you in prayer. So, anything that you would like prayer for, regardless of whether it's about a greater manifestation or it's about a release, whatever it might be, know that we are here for you. So you can either, if you are watching this live, you can put something into the chat or into the comments. And I always check that before I leave so that if I have missed something, I can always hold your intention. Not a problem. Or you can submit a prayer request this way. Go to www.ntmedia.org/prayer. And we have our prayer team of ministers and practitioners who would be delighted to hold your intention. So, whatever it is that you need, we're here to help. All right. So this morning, this is what I wanted to share with you. This comes from a book called Your Needs Met. By Jack and Cornelia Addington. The full title, I should have put the full title there. The full title is The Healing Nature of Spiritual Mind Treatment. Important thing to remember about that. The healing nature of spiritual mind treatment. Spiritual mind treatment is another way that we refer to affirmative prayer. So, this is what they wrote. I am a divine, perfect spiritual being. I am the expression of the omnipotent, all-knowing power within me. It loves me with an everlasting love. All sense of limitation and failure slip away as I behold myself as the unique and wonderful individualization of spirit that I am. You know, I'm a big film buff. I love movies, and I'll admit that I like rom-coms. And in almost every rom-com, there's always some guy saying, "You make me want to be a better man." And the reality of it is, this makes me want to be who I am. This makes me want to be the better version of me. So it's important for me to recognize that when I talk about the omnipotent, all-knowing power, it is within me. When I talk about being able to have limitation and failure slip away, it's only as I realize within that I am a unique and wonderful individualization of spirit. And as that is true for me, that is true for each and every one of us. And so I look at this affirmation and I say, this is who I am. Not who I want to be, but who I am. So think about ways in which you represent your truth. Think about ways in which you represent who you truly are. And think about ways that you might forget at times. You might block that important energy, that flow of grace, that flow of wisdom. All right, so let's take this into prayer. Hello, it's all love. Happy Monday to you. All right, so we're going to go into prayer, and I'll invite you to close your eyes or soften your gaze, whichever is comfortable and safe for you to do. And just take a deep breath. We used our breath to center and ground us. We use our breath to remind us that we draw in all that is good and of benefit, and we release that which is not. And just as our physical body draws in whatever it can, and we have mechanisms within us that scrub and clean, if you will, so that what is brought into us is as clean as it can possibly be. And as we exhale and release, our body gets rid of, eliminates those things which no longer serve, those things which would be detrimental if they remained. And so I take that physical interaction and I recognize it in a spiritual sense, a metaphysical sense, recognizing that everything that I draw in comes from all that is around me. It comes from everything in my culture, everything in my society, everything in my world. I bring all of this in, but what do I want to hold on to? What do I want to allow to work within me? What do I need to scrub, if you will? What do I need to filter? And so being able to recognize that everything that comes into my life has the possibility of being for my good. I recognize that I must see beyond the surface of things and get to the heart of them, get to understand them, get to see how does that resonate with who and whose I am? How does that resonate with me as the individualization of God, of the Spirit, of all that lives within me as a divine being? And so when I see hatred, when I see bigotry, when I see bias, I know that these are not, absolutely not in alignment with who and whose I am. And so I look deeper into them to understand them, rather than simply dismissing whoever it is or whatever it is that has expressed this. And I see what is there in there for me that I can take and I can use so that I can understand, so that I can participate, so that I can relate. Yes, there are things that I reject completely, but the action, while the action might be something that I reject, I don't reject the person. I need to understand. I need to get a sense of who and whose they are, which is the same as me. They are divine representations of the One. And so I know that I cannot dismiss the people. I know that I'm not going to even dismiss the action. But I am going to hold on to the connection, the ability to relate, the ability to try to understand, and then to decide how I will act or react. This is what it means for me to be able to be that unique representation of the one. Just as I hope and pray and, well, in reality, know that no matter what I say, no matter what I do, God's love has never left me, never would. I might think it has. I might think that I am in some way closed off. But if that is my thought, if that is in essence my reality, it's because I have made it so. Not because God has. Not because Allah, Gaia, the universe. Not because anyone other than myself has held that back. And so by opening myself to the realization that I am representing the divinity that is within me, holding on to the idea, the understanding, the knowledge, the deep feeling that I am indeed perfect, whole, and complete. I feel that I am invited to take all that I am into every situation. And I feel, I am going to say this, I feel an obligation to be true to myself. Whether I call that authenticity, I call that, what's the other word I want? I'll let it slide. My prayers are always whatever comes to me. Integrity, there's the word. See, I knew that God could provide that word for me. Whatever it is that upholds my authenticity, upholds my integrity, upholds my reality of who and whose I am. Those things I hold on to. Everything else is either something to be understood, to be explored, and to see if there is a blessing or a lesson within that I can take into my life. All of this enables me to use who and whose I am, all right, the full identity of me, which includes grace and wisdom. And of course, love, always love. Because it is indeed all love. And so I allow myself to recognize that if there is a sense of limitation, if there is a sense of failure, it's because I have forgotten who and whose I truly am. I have, in some way, turned away from my reality, my capital T truth. And so I have the opportunity to turn back to who and whose I am. I have the opportunity to return to that everlasting, exquisite light of love, the grace, the understanding, the compassion that exists within God, that exists within me. I take advantage of every opportunity to be who and whose I am. And that is my prayer today, because I know I am speaking from my truth. I know that I am speaking from the truth of each and every one of us. And today I endeavor to make this day as blessed a day as I can, knowing that the blessings are already here. So it's about my seeing them, recognizing them, holding them, allowing them to work the miracle of love in my life. Knowing that this is my truth, knowing that this is the truth of all of us, I release this to the law which always says yes. I can do that in confidence. I can do that in thanksgiving. And so it is. Hello, Laurie. Hello, Reverend Michelle. Wow, I went long. What can I say? Time is immaterial. So do everything you possibly can today to be who and whose you are, because that will be a magnificent benefit for the entire world. Isn't that wonderful to know? All right. So I will see you fairly soon, but know without a doubt that you are love. You are love itself. I'll see you soon. If I can figure out where I've hidden my exit video. Namaste.
On behalf of everyone at New Thought Media Network, thank you for being a member of our virtual family. Your financial contributions help share the New Thought message with people from around the world. Please visit and contribute at www.ntmedia.org/donate. New Thought Media Network, come be you. And please like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, peace and blessings.